Okay, some students have mentioned that if they plugged in the DC motor to 3.3V on the Uno, that the Uno starts smoking. We initially thought maybe the motor went bad, but actually after doing some testing, the Uno still worked, but the regulator on the Uno didn't work. So, or how do we say, got damaged. So, as I focus in on this, there's actually a 3.3 volt regulator that creates this 3.3 volt signal, and that's either going to be, it might be this one right here, this U5 right there. They're usually that shaped, but we'll see. So if the motor stopped working, usually it means the 3.3 volt component burned up, and that's the smoke that some of our students are referring to. So we're actually going to try this to see what happens. I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, so I'm going to plug this in. I got my 9 volt here. This might burn up, but this is how you get it. I'm going to try to do it with one hand. We'll see. Okay, so you can see it. It's turning. Okay, so I'm actually going to smell this. So, actually, okay, you can't tell obviously from the video, but it smells like it's burning. So it's meaning that there's a lot of current going through this thing, and it's probably getting kind of hot too. So it makes sense that this could actually burn up. Something we should keep in mind, right? Because we probably don't want our students to be doing this, because it could, in certain circumstances, may cause that component to burn up. So something to keep in mind. I'm going to try a different motor to see if it's the same thing. Okay, change the motor. Still working. But I am also starting to see a smell, or it's not see, to smell something. So I would say it's probably good not to do this part of the lesson for now, because there are other ways to test the motor, like just taking a 1.5 volt battery to see if it turns on. So let me see. All right, just wanted to show another way to test these motors. So instead of putting it into 3.3V on this Uno, because that could cause it to burn up, we could, let me move this out of the way, just use a battery. Okay, can I do this with one hand? Kind of hard, hold on. Okay, here we go. So now I just connected both wires to there. You can kind of hear it, that it's on. Okay, so that's one way to test to make sure that your motor works, rather than sticking it into 3.3V. When we start doing connecting the BJT, when you get to that part, you can still use the 3.3V, because we're not going to be directly connecting it. There's going to be a BJT there, and then there's also a protection circuit too, so that our motors or our Arduino board is protected. Okay, so do this part for the testing of the motor, but the BJT part you can still connect to 3.3 on the board. Now, if your 3.3 volt regulator no longer works, like it doesn't power a motor anymore, you can connect the BJT to 5V instead. Okay. Now, I sent a couple emails on that, girls, so that if you're using 5V when you connect to the BJT, you want to make sure that your analog value is going to be less than 100, and that will make sense when you get to programming with the BJT. All right, that's it for now.